Hey guys, give people some time to come in before we start. Okay. Hey. Let me turn this down. All right, perfect. So I can see. And do that. Okay. All right, cool. All right, you guys, I hope your Wednesday is going great and awesome. If you don't know who I am, my name is Melissa Jake, CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Popa Live Events. And we come here live every Wednesday, and it's called hashtag Ask Melissa Wednesdays, all about event planning, event management, event strategy. Anything that you can think about events, we talk about. Hey, Andre, thanks so much for joining. So, today's topic, and I forgot that fast. Today's topic is 5 tips on how to secure an event planner, something to that matter. But basically 5 tips on how to secure or hire the right event planner for your event, right? So we're going to talk about that as you guys are coming in. If you have questions that are not related to the topic, no worries. Put them in the comments below and I will definitely answer them. And as you're coming in, give hearts, likes, say hey. I do like to recognize people as they're coming in. That lets me know that you're watching and I know that you're there. Okay. All right. So the first tip is knowing the scope of services. So what type of event are you having and understanding what their scope of services are. Some people are strictly wedding planners. Some people are strictly conference planners, conference and meeting planners. You need to know what the scope of their services are. And then when you understand which event planner you want or have, then you want to make sure you understand what services and exactly is coming with your package, right? And so understanding that, are they doing setup and breakdown? Are they doing decor and all of that? Are they doing RSVPs? Are they going to be scheduling all of the vendors? Or, are they going to be making the payments to the vendors? Do you just pay the event planner? So really understanding the scope of services, what the event planner is doing and not doing. So is this the right investment for yourself, right? So scope of services is 1. Hey, Sable. 2, how well do they connect with other professionals? And that's big. I protect my vendors greatly, okay? When I find good vendors, I don't like to mess up my relationships because it is a small world and you never know when you're going to work with that vendor again, or if they can give a referral to another client for the event planner. Or if a client hired, let's say, a photo booth person, and you're like, oh, the event planner is so-and-so. They're like, oh, okay. There might be a different tone there, and you just don't want the day of being hectic because there's some conflict between vendor to vendor. So you want to make sure that your event planner can be professional enough to put things aside and still be on the one accord for the client, because that's the most important thing. All right, so that's number 2, making sure they're able to connect with other professionals. Not only just connect, but then are they resourceful? I might, as a client, want the event planner to find me somebody who can do a Santa Claus in a Elvis outfit. I don't know. But are they resourceful and know where they can find these vendors? That's important to know. So knowing if they can connect well with other professionals and then also be resourceful to find other professionals for your needs. So that is number 2. Number 3, How well do they work under pressure? This is big, okay? Because all in event planning is under pressure. The whole thing, okay? It's pressure all around. Every time you turn around, there's another pressure. There's another thing happening. So make sure the event planner, ask them questions about how do you deal with stress? How do you deal with multiple people talking to you at one time? How do you solve a problem? Knowing under pressure is, what's the plan A? What's the plan B? What's the plan C? Do they talk about that? Do they discuss that in their meeting or your interview with them? So making sure you you understand, do you feel like they're going to work well under pressure, to make sure that you're hiring the right event planner for you? Because a true professional would be able to. I love the stress. Like, that excites me, because I love to see all of the pressure cookers going off at one time, and I'm able to stop all the pressure cookers and the event goes great, right? So that's what thrives for me. Not everybody can deal with vendors, people talking to them all at one time. That's not, the way that some people are built. And I'm just built for this type of life. So, hey, you guys, thank you so much for joining. So that's number 3. Number 4, project management software. I'm very techie, okay? I like to show my clients we're not writing things down on paper anymore. Tech out, okay? And there's free software out there. I use Asana, I use Trello. I recently am using HoneyBook. I'm finding out, how to really utilize their planning softwares and communicating with vendors and clients through there. Also, Allseated. They have a great way to connect with vendors and planning. But my old-fashioned Asana works because I'm able to put my whole list of everything that needs to be done, put dates, who's responsible for what. That is my project management software. It is very friendly and easy to use, and I like to check things off the list, and that gives me that satisfaction for that. So asking your event planner, do they have an event management or project management software? What is their software they use? And depending on your type of event, like a client that I have that we're going to do an event for them, is that they want to be able to check people in on site virtually. So if they RSVP'd, we check them off and we know their table right then and there. And so that's the techie that they want, and you need to make sure, are they able to do that? And then bring the software to the meeting to show this is how it works, and all of that stuff. And, go over and beyond. Like my platform that I use is able to do 3D. So it can show people sitting at the table. If you had a centerpiece, it can show the centerpiece in 3D. If you wanted a soup bowl with a dessert plate at the table, it can show that too. It can show even the color of the linen and the color of the napkin, right? So very techie, but you make sure you ask those questions if that is the need for your event. So that is number 3, with the type of project management software they use, because that also shows how organized they are. What keeps them organized, because this is not their only event. They have other events. What keeps them organized? And then work style. What type of work style? And that's big. I'm going to call this work style / synergy and energy, transfer of energy, and what works well for them, what works well for you. Because I always tell my clients, I'm like your girlfriend, I'm your sister, however you want to see me for the next X amount of months. We're going to be working very close together, and we need to be able to have that energy, and that transfer of energy, and I'm able to understand your thoughts and what you're trying to describe and how your vision is, and then you're able to understand my vision, and I'm able to bring it to fruition, right? And so work style and energy and synergy is big. You want to make sure you're picking somebody who's able to do the vision that you want, but also understand it and able to implement it. And when there are rough bumps between client and event planner, which sometimes it does happen, that there's a bounce back and it's more professional. It's not personal, and it's professional. And how can they handle that, right? So that's important, because you want somebody that's like a part of the family that you're able to work with, and you're able to still get the job done. Okay. So I just gave you guys, hey Zena, I just gave you guys, 5 different tips of how to pick an event planner. Depending on the type of event, there's going to be different type of tips and different type of things you should look, but I'm going to recap for you guys. So the first one is scope of services, understanding the scope of services that you're going to be receiving for the type of event that you're going to have. How well do they connect with vendors? Not only connect, being resourceful, how well do they communicate with vendors and other professionals, because it's not only one person to pull off an event. Most likely you're having multiple things at an event. You might have a photo booth, you might have a DJ, a caterer. Most likely you have those type of things happening, right? So making sure they connect very well. And then resourceful. If I have something that's totally new, I want a live painter or live artist to paint something during my event. That's out of the box thinking. And do they have that resource with them? Do they have that in their we used to have Rolodex back in the day. Now we don't have that, but Rolodex, right? Number 3, how well do they work under pressure? Big one, making sure, can they handle the stress? You know, if you're having a wedding, you know, you have crazy family members, you know, your mom is over the top, your dad is over the top, soon to be mother-in-law is over the top, everybody's over the top. Can they handle the pressure of that? And so that is something to ask them. How well can they handle pressure for multiple things? Not only that, vendors, and the day of gets crazy, okay? Setup is crazy, especially if you have a short period of time to set up. If you only have about 2 hours to set up and it's a big setup, that's when you really feel the pressure. And how can you execute that in an efficient manner? And project management services, that's number 4. What project management services do they use? I use Asana. Do they have their own platform? Maybe they created an app, but something that keeps them organized, because if they're not organized, your event won't be organized. So we want to make sure they stay organized, right? And then lastly, work style. How well do we work together as a client event planner relationship? And how can that be communicated? The synergy, is there energy there? If I have a thought as a client, can you execute it and bring it to light, and we understand each other? And so asking questions, almost relationship questions, you can ask them about, not relationship of like their personal relationship, but those type of relationship Q&As you can ask them in an interview. Please, 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 please. Just don't read something online, and testimonials are great, but talking to somebody and feeling that energy is big for me. When I'm talking to people, and I'm reading a client too. I may not take a client based off of certain things, and that's fine. And that's okay. That's why there's so many event planners for so many different people. Hey, Micah, yes, all above. Yes, yes, yes. Make sure you are checking in to know exactly what you're looking for your event, and making sure that you're going through and asking these questions. There's so many other questions you can ask event planners, but those are the 5 things that I know I've been asked, and I've heard other people have asked other event planners. And some people ask out of box questions. If you were on an island, what would you bring with you? Or what's the one thing you will bring with you? And I've always asked a notebook and paper, because at least I'll be able to write my thoughts down when I start going crazy. So, those are those out of box type of answers if you're trying to get an idea of a person's personality. And so, yeah, you guys, those are 5 things that you can ask event planners when you're thinking about event planning, and when you're thinking about hiring somebody to do an event. And so let me know if you guys are planning an event, to see, if these are questions that you've asked before or you're going to ask. I want to know. Give me all of it. and see if you guys have questions. And if even if you have questions that's not related to this topic, I also discuss anything with event planning as well. So let me know if you guys have those type of questions. Micah, like what type of event are you planning, or have you asked all of those questions before? And if I'm saying your name right, apologize. I jack up people's name all the time. And it's not personal, just me Hey, Kim, thanks for joining. Tyrena. Hey, girl. Okay, cool. All right. So, you guys, if you have any more questions for me, I would be remiss not to say this. So, if you are looking for an event planner, and depending on the type of event, you may say like, well, you may not do this event, but guess what? I do all events because I don't believe in picking one type of event. I love all types of events. And so we specialize in all of them. So if you have an event and you're thinking of, I'm not sure if I need an event planner, Melissa, I kind of got things under control. But one thing I tell everybody, you are probably great at planning, especially if you're organized. You're already kind of built for that. But the day of, do you have somebody to help you do that event management type? Or you may not be that organized. You need help with event strategy. We help with that as well, where we can consult and strategize your event for you. And maybe you do have people on site that can help you execute. But maybe you are the strategist, but you don't have anybody to execute and to manage everything that's going to be happening the day of. We do that as well at Rescue Event Planning. So definitely send us a message, visit our website, and you can also send us a message there, and we can do a complimentary consultation with you so that we can better assist you in your event to kind of know where we can help and how we can foster a relationship with you. So definitely do that if you're planning to have an event. And if you're not and you're just like, I just like watching you, Melissa, every Wednesday because you're so great, then great. Thank you so much for watching. But don't forget to share this with somebody who might be planning an event, because you just never know when you might be planning an event or somebody else is planning an event and they haven't thought about having an event planner help them in this situation. So thank you guys so much for watching this evening. If you have questions, put them in the comments below. Hearts, likes, let me know if you thought this was interesting, if you like it, or subscribe to my YouTube page, Melissa Jakes, Events Made Easy. We are loading up a lot of more videos that are not being previewed to Facebook, but going directly onto YouTube. So don't miss out on your tutorials or your DIYs. We started some with centerpieces, and we'll be doing some other pieces as well. So subscribe, and you won't miss out on the good stuff. Okay? Thank you guys so much for joining. Have a great night. Again, my name is Melissa Jakes, CEO and founder of Rescue Event Planning, also known as Olivia Pope Live Events. And we are here live every Wednesday starting at 8 p.m. And we have different topics of event planning, and it's called #AskMelissaWednesdays. See you next Wednesday. Bye.